Good afternoon. I'm Jaden Hazelwood, and today I'm going to talk about why student athletes should be able to be paid from their likeness and basically like all the risks that they take should it shouldn't just be a one-sided thing where all the upper hand of student athletes like such as coaches, the NCAA should be getting paid, but we can't. But that argument over the over student athletes getting paid or not has sparked a controversial argument everywhere. A lot of people put their own opinions whether they should or shouldn't. But being a student athlete myself, I want to put my opinion out as well. Um, I, I have every reason to believe we should, and absolutely no reason that we shouldn't. My teammates and I, and not just my teammates and I, but athletes all around the country and every school in the nation have put in countless hours, whether the team is a good program or not. They put in countless hours, hard work, dedication, um, just putting most of their time into like football or whatever sport they're playing, and they rarely have a chance to like take advantage of their education, you know. As like me right now, I tore my ACL, and right now I just came fresh out of surgery. Basically, I had surgery yesterday, but like injuries like that, some injuries can end careers, and you could feel like you doing all this for nothing. Like you rarely get benefits. Like money, people may say money doesn't rule the world, but it actually does. Because if you don't have any money, you won't be able to do anything. But like these schools are kind of making, not even just schools, but the NCAA as well. Like they promote us, but we don't see any of that money. Um, these schools, they sell out every game, and we get paid a scholarship check every month, which is maybe $600 for like a month. Like that's not gonna last anybody a month, especially student athletes. And then I just feel like um, if you start now by paying these athletes, it will help them learn to manage money at an early age instead of when they get into the NFL, they just blow all their money on stupid stuff when they can just learn in college, learn how to manage instead of, because when you become a real adult in the real world, you really not going, people not teaching you that. They're gonna look at you crazy. But but sometimes people argue say that we get full tuition, free housing, and meal plans, and many more extracurricular that non-athletic students are getting. But what they not understanding is like regular students, like they have more time on their hands to even take advantage of the academics that they're receiving. So as an athlete, most of our time is into our sports. Like we sleep less, we wake up earlier than everyone. Um, we work harder. Like we're straining every day, basically. Like we're straining on the field, or you're gonna strain in the books as well when everybody else is asleep. When they get to, because we don't have as much time. Um, but I would like to make the argument that we're required to do more than regular students. Yes, they have to make above and beyond grades to be able to continue their educations at universities, but we are required to do the same. We are required to do the same all while being in tight fit schedules every day, year round. Like I said, like we wake up every day probably at 6 a.m. and we practice is minimum 2 hours, and that's like right after class. So like fitting study time into all that while being put in certain academic, like being put in academic, how can I say it? Like academic, like they schedule academics in your Teamworks, which is an app that we use with your schedule, like with tutoring and that type of stuff. And like, I just feel like it's hard to take advantage of that and focus because like you're so fatigued like after practice, because usually when they do schedule that type of stuff, it's after practice, unless it's off season. And at the end of the day, you still working out every day, and you have to walk here to go to this academic session, and you can't really focus because you're so fatigued from what you did before that. And then you have athletes that's like risking family time, holidays, birthdays, and where they can't even see their family, or even, it's not even about just seeing family, but because you can talk to them over FaceTime or whatever, but it's not the same as seeing them face to face. And some athletes, like, they go to college far away, and like their parents or whatever, they're struggling. Like, it's just a risk all over. Like, you go here to, you go, I'm from Atlanta, so I went to Oklahoma, far away from my family. And like, I didn't grow up in the best situations. So me being here and hearing some things back home may give me anxiety or make me feel kind of bad because I'm not there to help them, or my mom is struggling or something. Like I get paid, but like I barely have enough for me. So that's another risk that athletes take as well. To continue on that subject, time being a factor, we only get to go home like 3 times out of the year. Like, we probably get spring break, we get summer off, and then what else? I think we get maybe December.